Ladies and gentlemen, it's clobbering time for This is a Fred Daly Productions podcast.
We don't say that. It's only the animated version of us.
Cue the music.
Ewan.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Whoa, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello. I'm Kendall Richardson.
Hello and welcome. I'm Michael. I'm confused.
Yeah. It's okay. It's going to be one of those shows because we are the podcast that refuses to behave. You are now
Yes.
experiencing a podcast called Fred.
Experiencing it through the mediums of interruptions and not actually pressing buttons. Don't press my buttons.
That's called doing Kendall. It's muting yourself when you think you're already on mute.
Yes.
that's my classic move. Yes, hello, welcome to the show, everyone. Fulya is not with us currently, but she will be joining us later. And thank goodness, because we have a big popcorn culture segment. If you know what we're here to talk about, it might be a little fantastic. I don't know, just a little bit. But Mike and I are gonna take us through the usual hullabaloo, starting with the weekly watchings.
Yes.
What have you been watching this week, Mike?
Well, I've finally finished season 1 and 2 of My Adventures of Superman. And because ever since Superman came out, I just needed some optimism, some feel-good stuff. And it's just a series that I sort of watched a couple of episodes that I'll get back to it. But no, I've decided, no, I'm going to start actually completing one's series now. And I've done the first 2. And it's been renewed for season 3, which comes out later this year or next year or whatever. And I can't wait. So I highly recommend it. It's a nice little sort of east meets west sort of animation. It's sort of like Avatar. It's made to look like anime style or anime inspired animation, and it's the Superman story, so that's a bit of fun. Yeah, and I do say that because I've just discovered, just like Netflix, if you have a VPN, you can watch American HBO Max.
Oh.
And I went a bit crazy. I thought, oh my God, yay. And I hate myself because damn it, I did it again to myself. I started watching like bits and pieces, like, and then I went, ah! Because you can watch a lot of Adult Swim on HBO Max in America. And that's cool. I've been meaning to watch like Aqua Team Hunger Force and the Boondocks and all them. And I had to stop myself. I was like, no, don't do what you did last time. I've just systematically been pricking like different stuff. And there's also the series of Pee-wee's Playhouse on there as well. So if I ever need a bit of a relaxing time, I just watch Pee-wee's Big Playhouse. Yay! Because I didn't get to watch that as a kid, so that's a good adventure. Yeah,
Nice.
and I'm glad I had a couple of episodes left of my adventures with Superman. Such a weird title. It's not My Adventures. It's the show called My Adventures. because me and the wife also sat down to watch a movie that came out on Netflix, funny enough. Happy Gilmore 2.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
It's a bit crap. I wasn't expecting much. It just got annoying and only had a few chuckles from me. And I suppose it has its audience. It made me cynical for a little bit. It was like, oh, why are they doing this? It's not the Happy Gilmore that's essentially Adam Sandler wrote himself into this. It's like, yeah, this is what a dad of a family and you know, below the poverty line, because apparently you need to do that again. Like, Happy needs to go back to where he was instead of where he is, and like expand upon that. It's like, no, he has to go back to the well. Yeah, and they did the Clerks 3.
Yeah.
And that annoys me.
Yeah.
It annoyed me then, and still annoys me now. And yeah, it's just favored too much of, oh, remember the original? Remember the original? Here's a character that's sort of based upon that character that we can't have now because they're not here. So cynically, like, yeah, it just favored too much of the original movie, and gripes me of just, we're just gonna play a couple of seconds of the original film.
Yeah.
That annoyed me. So I'm guessing you've probably seen it, so I'm not gonna.
Yes.
I'm
You're
sort of not spoiling it and spoiling it at the same time, and yeah, yeah, it's just a big load of nothing. It's just a big load of nothing. The third act is stupid. Yeah, just yeah, it's like, will I watch it again? No, I'll just watch the original, because at least that's a well-contained story, and you know, sure, you're a screw up, but if you plug at it, good things will happen. It's a very calmer sort of movie, where this one is, oh, I need to get out of my funk because of my family, because I need to support my family. I need to do this. Yeah, but it's sort of the same sort of story beats as Hotel Transylvania, which irked me. It's like, you did it good for the first time, but don't do it now. But having said that, just to get the bad taste of cynicism and nihilism out of my mouth, I had Superman, so that's good. I watched a bit of Superman.
Nice.
Please go watch something. Oh no. Anyway, you can hear me now.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's basically what I've been watching, really, and that's basically it. So, what about you, Kendall? What have you been watching?
Yes, me. Yes, well, I haven't really been watching too much this week myself. Yeah, I will kick things off with the Happy Gilmore-ness, because I actually rewatched the first one the night before we watched part 2, just to, you know, like, my partner, he wanted to refresh his memory a bit, because he hadn't watched it for a long time, and I've watched it. When was the last time I watched it? Not that long ago. But I watch Happy Gilmore like once every couple of years. Like, it's a good comfort movie. It's very funny and easy to watch. 90 minutes, you know. So it was good to rewatch it, and then you know, we sat down and watched the second one the following night when it came out on Netflix, and I feel like this movie is. I didn't hate it, but I feel like in parts it insults its fan base, because this movie's been around for 30 years, and you just mentioned it, Mike, but the whole, like, here's someone, like, show someone on screen and they'll immediately flash back to the 90s footage of who that person is, just in case we don't get it. I'm like, we've been watching this movie for 30 years. I think we fucking get it. So they kind of held your hand a bit too much, I thought. Because, like, if you're not going to get all the references that they want you to get, then, you know, treat it like a comic book movie. Just be like, you know, there are Easter eggs to be found if you go looking for them. Like, I felt like that kind of took away some of the special nostalgia that this movie brings. However, I think I enjoyed it more than you did, Mike. That's not to say it was a 10 out of 10. It was definitely not a 10 out of 10. The original is still supreme.
Yeah, if I would rate it, I would probably give it a 3.
Okay, I'd probably give it a 6. I think maybe a 5 or a 6. Yeah. Just because, like, I don't know, there was a lot about it I didn't like, but there were some other things that I thought were really interesting, and, like, there was some humor in it that I did enjoy. Not all of it was hilarious or as quotable as the original film or any of that, but it's annoying, I can't remember now. I've got other movies on my brain that I can't remember a couple of parts that I loved, but I don't know, it was interesting what they decided to do. Like, killing off a certain character immediately pissed me off. Rubbed me the wrong way immediately. I was like, oh, so I'm gonna hate this movie then. We're fridging the wife already. Like, what the hell? And then, yeah, the fact that, like, you know, the whole first movie, you kind of hinted at this too, Mike. The whole first movie is about him trying to save his grandma's house, and they save the house, and then fucking 10 minutes into the first movie, he loses the house, and I'm just like, the fuck? Why are we undoing everything? I mean, I get, like you said, they're wanting to take Happy back to basics, back to rock bottom, so they can build him up again and have a, you know, conflict and a plot to build upon. But I feel like they could have done it in a better way than killing Virginia off, and I'm just gonna spoil the movie now. Killing her, yeah, killing her off, and making Happy an alcoholic, and like the fact that he has like multiple relapses in the movie. I mean, I guess that's reflective of addiction in real life. But I don't think we need that in this movie. I don't think this movie is supposed to do that necessarily. I loved his kids though. His kids were great. You know, and it was really funny at one point because, of course, you know, Adam Sandler has gone from being the actor that casts his friends in his movies to also casting his family in his movies. And, you know, one of his real life daughters plays his daughter in the film, and she's fine and she's great. But then, like, one of his other daughters plays, you know, his sort of mentor character at the AA with the hilarious return of Ben Stiller's Hal character from the first one. That was funny.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. But, like, the fact that, like, my partner was watching and at one point got them confused. There was a scene where he got the two sisters in real life that aren't sisters in the movie confused because they do look a lot alike, and
they look like Adam Sandler.
They look like Adam Sandler, so it's a little takes you out of it a little bit. But
I didn't twig that, but when the last scene is like, it's like, you remind me of my dad. Wink to camera. It's like,
oh, that was disgraceful. I'm sorry, like, because they literally paused for a laugh there. Like, there was literally like this awkward moment of silence after that. I'm like, you realize you've made a movie for Netflix, right? And also, we know who she really is. It was just, I don't know. This movie holds the audience hand way too much. So, yeah. But anyway, I found really interesting what they decided to do with Shooter McGavin. He was in the movie more than I expected. I didn't think he was actually going to be in it that much. And the fact that he kind of plays a supporting role and they kind of, I don't know, redeem him a little bit, maybe. But I don't know. They kind of do in a weird way. But I think... I don't know. I'm of two minds with what they did with him because on one hand, I like the fact that he kind of ends up on Happy's side, you know, because it makes sense for his character wanting to fight for old traditional golf, because that was his whole bit in the first movies, like Happy Gilmore's ruining golf. So it makes sense that this new golf craze thing, maxi golf or whatever they fucking called it, will come in and ruin golf, and he's been being recruited to that, and that hasn't gone down well. But at the same time, I kind of would have liked to have seen like, you know, he's been in the nut house for 30 years. You know, maybe he's just so warped and twisted that like he'll do anything to beat Happy Gilmore, even sacrificing his golfing values. and we could have had like a Shooter and Happy showdown at the end, and kind of instead of like having it against Haley Joel Osment's character, who we don't really have much of an emotional connection to in this film.
Should have been Shooter's kid. Then they can follow the trend of, oh, here's the kid of the character that was in.
Yeah, that might have been something as well. Yeah, for sure.
But also Shooter in the nut house. I like the idea of a character like being the same over a length of time, like 30 years as the same character. But I don't think Shooter was the right person to do it with. And also, I've already seen it before with Dumb and Dumber 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Have you seen Dumb and Dumber 2?
I haven't seen the second one.
They do the same thing with Lloyd.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was in an institution for over 20 years.
Oh, no.
And it was all for a joke.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's no good.
Bad film.
Remind
me of another bad film. More bad films. Ugh.
Too many bad films. But anyway, like, yeah, it's if you like the first film, I think there are small things in this you can enjoy. I think, like, I appreciated the inclusion of Chubb's son being in here. That was kind of fun, and then just, I don't know, getting to see what Happy Gilmore would look like in today's world, I suppose. But there's a lot of cameos from other celebrities and stuff, and like one review I read about the movie was like, it's just too many of them, and I'm like, I would kind of agree, but I feel like the original film had a lot of like golfing cameos and stuff, and all of that. This film just kind of takes that to the next level. I liked how the golfers were actually like the real life golfers were incorporated into the story to the point where they had dialogue, and one of them was like a notorious repeat offender going to jail. That was funny. I liked that. I thought that was good.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I will say, I thought Bad Bunny, who played his caddy, he was hilarious. I really
that was a good character. I much like Bad Bunny's character.
Yeah, he was probably the best character in the movie, to be honest. And then
addition,
best addition to the film. And then the fact that they had what I keep forgetting his name. What's his name from SNL? As his like chaotic other buddy who tried to make him have a caddy, and then I forget his bloody name. But anyway, he's so funny on SNL. Yeah, so Happy Gilmore 2 is probably a little bit better than I expected, but it still didn't like blow my socks off by any means. So take it or leave it. It's probably one of the better of Adam Sandler's movies in recent times, I would say, and I don't know if that says much, but I don't know.
He's sort of in his disinterest stage of acting.
Yeah,
he just looks bored all the time.
Yeah, very, very much. He was definitely kind of doing the bare minimum. Even in some of the scenes when he was like yelling, as like Happy would yell, getting angry, it didn't feel the same. It just, it felt tired. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's a recovering alcoholic, so
is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
true.
what sort of clinged for me of the best representation of this film is the fight scene within the cemetery. You were literally fighting on the graves of the characters that are dead. It's like I love it and hate it at the same time.
I didn't like it. It took me out of the movie too much. Like, there's no way they're all buried in the same cemetery. Like, fuck off. And then the Mr. lady at the end. I'm like, come on.
I was like, oh, she's dead. I didn't know that. Okay, thanks. The Mr. lady is dead in real life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Cool. And I have one other thing I can mention that I watched. And that is Highlander, the
Oh,
1986 Christopher Lambert, Sean Connery fantasy adventure timey-wimey movie.
Sean
Okay.
Connery playing as Spaniard.
A
Okay.
Spaniard.
Without changing an accent at all. Anyway.
Yes, and Christopher Lambert, who is French-Canadian, doing probably the worst Scottish accent put to cinema. But he tried. Yeah, look, I watched it with my partner, and he grew up watching this movie, so he had some nostalgia on it, and he liked it. Like, he likes it a lot, and he was keen to rewatch it. I'm like, well, I've never seen it, so let's do it. And he turned to me afterwards and was just like, I think that it has not aged as well as I thought it might have. But he still enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, we were both quite surprised that no one's tried to do a remake yet.
They're trying.
Oh, they're trying? Okay, good. Because the story's really cool, and it's a great concept about, you know, these immortal beings that, you know, have to basically fight each other to the death because there can be only one. You know, and the movie takes place over, you know, 2 time periods: the original Scottish setting back in the 1500s, and then you've got, you know, the modern 1980s. And yeah, I didn't realize so much of it was set in the 80s, because all the artwork and all the photos and stuff I've seen of Highlander is all set in, like, you know, the medieval Scottish time. And so I was like, oh, there's actually like like a half of this movie is set in present day. But that was okay. Also, Clancy Brown is in this, and I did not know. All I knew was it was Christopher Lamb and Sean Connery, and everyone goes on about Sean Connery being this, you know, non-Spanish Spaniard. No one ever told me Clancy Brown was in this until this week, and that he's having the fucking time of his life. In every single scene he's in, he is chewing every last morsel of this scenery. And it's fantastic.
I love that.
Yeah.
I might watch it.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. Like, I'm glad I watched it. I enjoyed it.
Another movie of the same caliber with Clancy Brown, like just having the time of his life. Pet Sematary 2.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to get into the Pet Sematary franchise, dare I say, at some point.
It's not really a franchise.
No, it's 2 movies and a remake, I guess, is the extent. Or did they make 3 movies originally?
I can't remember. I know there's 1 and 2, and also the remake. I enjoyed the remake. The first one was great because you got Norman Munster as the farmer guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, sometimes death is better. He's doing a Maine accent. It's great.
It's awesome.
South Park does a version of it when Butters' dad thinks he killed Butters, and this guy just comes. I know what you think it starts. You're thinking you're gonna bury your son in the Indian burial ground. Yeah, love it,
Nice.
love it.
Love it. But yeah, Highlander was good. I don't know if I'm gonna watch 2 and 3 or the TV show. Who can say? But I enjoyed this for what it was, and yeah, a lot of potential. So if they, like, this would be a remake or a reboot, I would actually be on board with. Like, I would love to see what they could do with this movie today. With,
yeah,
a big budget behind it.
You know the joke behind that?
Yeah, what?
There's a franchise for the Highlander, and the main thing is there can only be one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. All right, that's the weekly watchings, guys. which means
Yes.
it's now time to get into the week that was in the nerdy news.
Where's my mouse? There it is. Now.
This is the news in nerdy news. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostess, Kendall Richardson. Take it away, Kendall.
Can't hear you.
I see, it's a Kendall move. I muted myself even though I wasn't muted. We love it. Okay, so awkward transition because we have to get really sad for like 5-10 minutes here now because it's just been another one of those weeks where some very important people in the world of entertainment have sadly left us. Pretty much all too soon. I feel like in these three cases, but starting with, of course, Ozzy Osbourne sadly passed away this week at the age of 76, just 3 weeks after the iconic and very successful Back to the Beginning concert in Birmingham. Unbelievable. Very shocking. Man, my partner's a big fan of Ozzy, so that wasn't some great news to wake up to this week. But we keep saying, we're getting to that age where these icons, these legends of our childhood and our formative years are just starting to leave us. But Ozzy is just, he's really immortal. I think when you look at what he did for heavy metal, Black Sabbath is one of the most iconic metal bands. He kind of invented the genre, really, very much a pioneer. And then his solo stuff, of course, as well, was even more legendary. And then, I'm just kind of quoting Jack Black's Hall of Fame speech at this point, but, he also invented kind of, in a way, reality TV when, the Osbournes decided to do a, they were the Kardashians before the Kardashians were a thing on MTV, showing the ins and outs of their day-to-day life. But I remember watching that show. That was very funny. And that kind of, Ozzy was sort of a meme before memes were a thing, I think, at that point, because everyone had an Ozzy Osbourne impression back then. But I like to remember the iconic rock frontman that he was, and just, so fearless and unafraid to do whatever he felt like on stage. The energy he had, just, the fact that he was known as the Prince of Darkness, like, that's just, like, that's epicness right there. And, he wrote a song about Iron Man, so, we like Iron Man very much. But yeah, it's just, very sad to see that he's left us, but he's definitely not going to be forgotten at all, ever. He'll be forever in our ears as we listen to his amazing music. Mike, do you have any thoughts on Ozzy's passing?
It's a little sad, but like Keith Richards, they're always going to be around, but unfortunately, no longer. So it must be the upcoming apocalypse.
Yeah.
If all the ones that you're expecting to like live forever is, it is sad. Yeah, I do remember a lot of cameos that he's done in movies.
Yes.
And like, speaking of Adam Sandler, Little Nicky comes to mind. And the 2016 Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, I don't remember that cameo.
Oh yeah, he's in there. He's doing his Sharon. I'm hallucinating again.
Oh,
Ghosts.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Another rocker going Stairway to Heaven. No, that's wrong band. Anyway. Is he Ozzy?
Yes, the sentiment holds true. Yes, he's
Crazy
Aussie
Train.
indeed. Crazy
Probably
Train.
my favorite.
Yeah, that's an amazing song. Love Crazy Train.
Yeah, I heard that as a slow ballad, and it sort of put a tear to my eye.
Oh wow.
Yeah. What's his name? Puddles. Pity Party, the clown that does like slow ones, and he's dressed up as a clown. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He did Blink 182's All the Small Things, which I quite like as a slow ballad. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I have to look that up. Sounds really cool. Okay. To our next legend that's left us this week, Hulk Hogan passed away as well. 71. I think the unofficial cause of death is cardiac arrest. I also heard maybe it was a heart attack that he had. But there were also rumors that he was on his deathbed after some surgery he'd had last month. So, yeah, I mean, there's so much tragedy in the world of wrestling. And, like, the fact that he lived to be 71, I think is, I mean, still, it's too young, I think. But for a wrestler who puts their body on the line every time they step into the ring, like it's a miracle that most of them walk out of there alive and without permanent damage. But yeah, Hulk is one of the most iconic wrestlers, obviously, of all time. Hulkmania swept the 80s in the WWF, and just like he's up there with legends like obviously The Rock and Andre the Giant and Undertaker. Like he's one of those big, like, you think of Hulk Hogan, you just you can picture him so clearly. He also had a reality TV show. It may have also been on MTV. I can't remember, but he had one with his family as well. And that was also fun to watch, just to see what their day-to-day life was like as well. But yeah, very sad to see that he's left. But he was larger than life, I think. So it's just sadly was his time to go. But yeah, he's going to be remembered as one of the greatest to ever do it. That's for sure. Mike, do you have any Hulk Hogan thoughts? Did you ever watch any of his stuff, like when you were old enough to wrestling everything for you?
I was never into wrestling or anything like that, but his character sort of transcends from wrestling. I mean, Rocky 3, of course. Played all those weird movies that came out in the 80s. And also he did a brief cameo in Muppets from Space, where he played a bad guy henchman, and people were surprised he was a bad guy. It was like, no, he's. Yeah. As a unionist myself, I don't like him because Tracy Ventura, who was another wrestler, tried to unionize the wrestling scene, and Hulk was a real narc, and yeah, so oh well. He also had his controversies too, so yeah, Trump supporter, so
yeah,
whoopsie poopsie. But in the zeitgeist, everyone's got a Hulk Hogan who's like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, yeah. I don't really have much about Hogan. I know Chris Evans is trying to make a biopic of himself.
Oh.
Yeah, but who knows what's going to happen with that?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think yeah. No, not Chris Evans. The other Chris, Hemsworth.
Oh, Hemsworth. All right, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoopsie. Wrong
Whoopsie.
Chris. I did the meme.
Yeah.
No, it was Chris Pratt. He's playing everything.
Yep, because he's in everything. Okay. Well, we have one more wonderful person to farewell this week, and this is the one that shocked me the most. We lost Malcolm Jamal Warner way too soon this week at the age of 54. He was on holiday with his family and got caught in a riptide and drowned in Costa Rica. Yeah, awful, awful, awful. If you don't know his name immediately, you'll know, who he played. He was, of course, Theo Huxtable on the Cosby Show in the 1980s. One of the great sitcoms of that time. Obviously now marred by scandal, considering what's come out many years later after the show's finish. But just to ignore that and just to focus on Malcolm Jamal's performance, like Theo was my favorite character on the Cosby Show. I like Theo scenes were my favorite scenes. Every time he came on screen, like his big smile and his energy just lit the screen up, and you couldn't help but be drawn to him and want to be his friend. Basically, like he just felt like a good dude you want to hang around with. And he just made me laugh so much. Like Theo made me laugh like crazy. So I was pretty sad to hear that he sadly tragically passed this week. He kept acting well past Cosby Show. Like he was on a lot of other TV shows, and it was really cool to see the tributes come out from a lot of his co-stars and people who knew him best, and just to see the love that he got. Just but it just hurts a bit, really, because it's just like that's just you know it's just to think that I mean, drownings happen. I'm sure they happen a lot, but it just for me it's just like can't they be avoided? I don't know. It's just sad. It's just really sad because he was a very talented man, and he's definitely going to be remembered for a long time to come. Mike, do you have any thoughts on the late Malcolm Jamal Warner?
I didn't know him as well because I didn't really watch the Cosby Show, and it's a bit too late to start now. So, whoopsie. But he did a lot of TV, which is great, and he also did a lot of voiceover work as well. Like I was having a look at his IMDb, and I didn't know he'd played the producer character in the Magic School Bus. Yeah. Do you remember, like, at the end of each episode, and someone called up and say, "Hey, that doesn't work in real life. Explain it." It's like all those annoying comments that you see in real life. It's like, and then he sort of explains, well, the reason why we did that is because there's no really one-to-one comparison or anything like that. So he did stuff like that, and
that's cool.
He was also like did bit parts in different TV shows, and so he kept working, and that's great. You could always good to have like a good character actor just to go around, and it's like not necessarily known for like one thing, but done a lot of stuff for one or two things. So that was great.
Yeah.
And just a tragic thing that happened.
Yeah. So very tragic.
Which is annoying. Anyway, here's to you, and hope you hope the family's okay.
Yeah, definitely. Thoughts with his family, absolutely. All right, let's turn these frowns upside down, because this weekend, as you are aware, I'm sure, was San Diego Comic-Con. It's that time of year. It's the nerd mecca, the pop culture capital. Yes, very exciting. Obviously, we're not going to have the full up-to-date rundown of the highlights for you guys, but there probably will be more news that comes out in the next couple of days. But we'll try and get through the stuff that we think is pretty awesome. Starting with the release date for Coyote versus Acme. This is kind of surreal, really, to think about because we went from this movie coming out to this movie never coming out, and now it got saved and it is coming out, and it's coming out in theaters, which is just really, really cool. So they announced that the release date is going to be on the 28th of August 2026, so next year. Worldwide, exactly. Yes, worldwide theatrical release, which is just wonderful, and it just feels like a big fuck you to Zaslav, I think, which is fun. But yeah, they showed some footage in the room at Hall H during the panel about it. But yeah, it's people are excited, and we're excited here on the podcast for sure, because I just have always loved the premise of this, like the idea that it's Wile E. Coyote suing Acme for all the faulty products he's tried to use on the Roadrunner. Like it's just such a great concept for a film. So I can't wait to see how it is executed in real life. So thank God it got saved. But yeah, we can mark our calendars now, Mike. How are you feeling about that?
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that the Snyder Bros have got their Snyder cut. I want this film so much because the company that bought it to distribute it also did another Looney Tunes one, the day the Earth blew up.
Yes, that's right.
And I recently watched that, because I've got now American Hulu, American HBO Max, and that was good. 2D animation, the jokes landed all the time. It was funny, good twist, and just all around fun. And I can't wait for this because I'm more of a fan. Well, now I'm more of a fan of Looney Tunes Take Action than Space Jam because it was better. Come at me.
Hot take.
Nostalgia glasses not here. All right. Even with a Bill Murray cameo, you can't get me. And it feels like the same vein as that. And I'm loving, like, I've only seen bits and pieces of what happened in the panel, and it feels like, and what looks like they're running, like, the ad campaign for it is that Acme is trying to stop this movie from happening, and Acme is hint Warner Brothers, and I just love that sort of meta commentary as well, because people are like really behind this movie, and I'm just hoping this film will reach that stupid $1 billion thing that movies have to, like, be $1 billion or else it doesn't work. I want $2 billion for this film. Just rub it in their face. It's like, you tried just for a tax write-off. Guess what? You don't know what the audience wants. The audience wants this, and audiences are petty. I love it. I'm going to watch it 3 times. 3 times a lady. I'm happy.
That's good. I'm happy you're happy.
And Will Forte is going to be happy, and John Cena's also in this as well, so he's going to be happy. Mm-hmm. Speaking of John Cena, probably not. What's the running? Nah, damn. Speaking of Space Jam 2 cameo of Rick and Morty.
Yes, thank you for the segue. Yes, our next bit of news is Rick and Morty related because it has been announced that there's going to be a spin-off series. And it's going to be about President Curtis. Yes, I think it's titled President Curtis at this stage as well. Keith David, who voices the character in the main show, will be returning to reprise his role as the character. Also joining him in the cast is Stephanie Beatriz and Jim Rash. Two big ticks from me on those co-stars. But yeah, I think this is interesting. I'd be curious to see how well it does. If it'll get more than a season. I mean, Rick and Morty's super popular. I mean, I know it's not the same as it used to be, obviously, for reasons we won't address. But you know, it's still going, and there's clearly an investment if Adult Swim is willing to invest in a spin-off show, especially this late into Rick and Morty's run too. But I feel like President Curtis has kind of become this like standout supporting character. Like when he appears in episodes, like I don't know, he's kind of fun. I like Keith David's delivery of the dialogue. The way he talks is pretty funny. And you know, his relationship to Rick and all of that is just quite amusing. So yeah, so I'm curious to see what they do with the show. I'm definitely going to check it out. Dan Harmon said at Comic-Con, it's more X-Files than Doctor Who. It's the level of sci-fi that would only be boring to Rick. That's apparently just the description of the show. And I guess, yeah, X-Files makes sense because it's, you know, government centered, and there'll clearly be some sci-fi stuff thrown in here. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. And I look forward to watching it. There's no release date or release window for this yet, so it's probably a couple of years off still, but there is an image of our main characters already released, so you can go check that out. But yeah, how are you feeling about this spin-off, Mike? What do you reckon of it?
Yeah, it's only a matter of time that they start doing spin-offs because yeah, all the episodes that's got the president in it are always like special ones.
Yeah,
like there's a threat of the world, and yeah, and then it all starts with the show me what you got.
Yeah,
that episode.
That's true.
So
yeah,
everyone loves that episode. The Thanksgiving one is always my favorite as well, where they have to they turned the president and Rick and Morty into turkeys to get a plot done. So that's great, and also the big fight that they have at the White House, where they sort of go through every rooms, and there's always Easter eggs of like, this is where the moon landing happened, the set that's underneath, and yeah. And yeah, that's Keith David is always fun.
always fun.
Could say community alumni.
Yes.
So, and I saw a bit of like the interview that had Keith David and Dan Harmon as well, and someone asked him, is it you or JR? Game of Thrones guy, J.R. Martin.
George R.R. Martin.
George. I was saying J.R. and then I was about to go to Tolkien. It's like, no. It's the other R. Yeah. Is it you or George that is being pestered of who's going to finish George's last Wind and Fire book, or you with your 6 seasons and a movie? And it's whatever Donald Glover can get. get time off because he's busy. Anyway,
Yes. Very busy.
so I can't wait. Yeah, this is a good idea. I like the idea of, because it does feel like a Doctor Who episode. It does feel like the war between land and sea sort of thing. So
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. Don't know when that's going to come out, or even if it's going to come out.
Yeah.
Annoyed at that, but yeah, I like the idea of it, and you don't need Rick all the time. I mean, even in Rick and Morty, sometimes you don't need Rick all the time in that.
No.
Sometimes you can do stupid stuff like a fight between letters and numbers. I know the discourse is everyone hates that episode. I don't mind it because it's punny. I like puns. Okay.
Yeah. Puns are
I
great.
like it. So
Puns are
yeah,
great.
can't wait for that. Maybe because when Rick and Morty's not on air, they'll do this season and then all throughout. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
So where's it coming out, Kendall?
Soon. Coming
Soon.
But there is something we do have a release date for, and that is our next thing, which is the Mighty Nine.
9.
9. Yes, some big Critical Role news out of Comic-Con this week, and the biggest was there's now a release date for season 1 of the Mighty Nine, which is fantastic. This is, of course, based on the second campaign of Critical Role's D&D series. I don't really know too much about it, so I'm like watching the little clip that they dropped for this, just having all the party being interrogated.
Except for one.
Except for one. Oh, okay. There's someone there not being interrogated, was there? Ooh. Okay. Everyone except one was there, and that was pretty funny to watch, just to hear like the familiar voices from Vox Machina, from Critical Role, just like hearing those guys in these new characters for me for the first time, because I've never listened or watched the series on YouTube. So that was cool, and like the different designs of the characters are also a lot of fun. So but yeah, it's coming out on Prime Video on the 19th of November. They haven't released the episode structure yet, I don't believe, but Vox Machina fell into a chunks of 3 for its last season. So, but the blurb of the Mighty Nine goes as this: the Mighty Nine follows a group of fugitives and outcasts bound by secrets and scars. But when a powerful arcane relic known as the Beacon falls into dangerous hands, they must learn to work together to save the realm and stop reality itself from unraveling. And this is set in the same world, but 20 years later, after the events of Legend of Vox Machina. So, which also had some news this week. It's been renewed for a 5th and final season. So I'm guessing that means we're going to get to see the entirety of that campaign adapted into animated form. I haven't seen anything to the contrary, so that's pretty cool. They showed us a clip from season 4 with sort of teasing the sort of this heist thing that's going on, which was a bit of fun. Which, I mean, honestly, I'm in for a bit of fun with Vox Machina, because season 3 was fucking gut-wrenching. And I'm not ready to have my heart torn out of my chest and stomped on just yet. But,
Okay.
Oh, but Mike's like, you say that now. There's more. There's more coming.
I've watched the entire campaign.
Oh, so you know how it ends up. Okay.
I know.
Okay. All right. I'll brace myself then for more tragedy. But yeah, it looks fun. I can't wait. That's coming out, I believe, probably next year. I think they said 2026 for Vox Machina Season 4. So, yeah. Exciting times. Mike, how are you feeling about all this Critical Role news this week?
I'm excited because I've only done the first, say, 5 or 6 episodes of the second campaign, and this has sort of sparked me to say, "Ooh, maybe I should start watching the second campaign," because I've seen the first campaign. You're in for a treat, Kendall.
Yeah.
And I'll only say that.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't expect, because of the sneak peek, and there's going to be a 5th and final season, I didn't expect the new character to be in it, because I thought they were going to bypass this new character. And I won't talk about him, because he's a bit of fun. And there's stories behind that. Yeah. And it seems like they're probably going to do a lot more of the after show, or maybe after the main campaign, they do some extra stuff. Like there was one little one shot that they do of a wedding. They go to a wedding. I'm not going to say who, but there's a wedding. And it was very touching at the end, where something happens, and I was crying because there's this beautiful thing that happens. So you're in for a treat. Even if they do it or don't do it, I would highly recommend that campaign to watch if they don't do it, because that's good. If with this new character, I'm thinking they'll probably set up more stuff with him, because there's a one shot that they do that completely bonkers, and it was really fun. And also, there's another one shot that they do called Finding Grog. And I'll just leave it at that. And the ending for that was wow. It's the best. Every time I see a clip of it on like anything, I always sit down and watch it, because it was fantastic. Because they have to find Grog somewhere, and once they find him, he should I? No, I shouldn't spoil it. But it's the best ending that could happen at a D&D campaign. And it was in front of a live audience, and everyone went fucking ballistic.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I love that. The Mighty Nine, I don't know too much about, but I have an inkling of where this sneak peek actually takes place, because I think this will be in the first episode. And what I've heard is each episode is going to be 1 hour.
Oh.
So, yeah, so instead of half an hour, it's going to be 1 hour. So they're going to go through it probably pretty quickly.
Okay.
But it's going to be more stuff. So yay!
Yay!
And I'm thinking the first episode is probably going to be the first 3, the first sessions that I've seen. So that's going to be fun, where we get to meet. You get to meet these characters actually meeting them for themselves for the first time. So that's cool. So yeah, you got Caleb, you got Not, Jester, you got Ford. Can't remember what Talison's character's name, but the character that we're missing is Ashley Johnson's character that we don't see.
Oh, okay.
Because she escaped.
That's fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're in for a treat for that one. And right now, I'm going to start watching the campaign, so I can be all ready for this new stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait. So when's this coming out? Yeah, you already said November sometime.
November, yes.
Remember.
Remember. I believe it was November 21st, I think I said.
Something like that, yeah.
19. November 19.
19.
No, 19. All right, we've got one more thing to talk about.
One more.
One more. And, this kind of lets us get political, but also remain entertaining. Mike's very happy about this. Because, big moves, big things happening over at South Park. They've just
Come down to South Park.
Yeah, they've just made a massive deal with Paramount Plus for $1.5 billion. Ahead of the season 27 premiere, which has happened and has also broken the internet, and is one of the best fucking things they've done in forever. Oh, so good. Just relax, guy. Relax. Brilliant. So they've made a deal. So this is good
They made a
for
deal with
South
the
Park
devil.
and deal with the devil, literally. This is really good because as if you're unaware, there was a whole massive thing with Paramount kind of stringing them along. There wasn't a lot of South Park content in the last couple of years, and Paramount's been focusing on trying to get this merger with Skydance going through, which has just been approved by the FCC. So the government has approved the merger, so that is likely to pass now. And yeah, as a sort of, it feels like as a consequence of that, South Park is now back on we can stress less about the show's cancellation. But yeah, immediately they went straight for the president, and it was just glorious. So yeah, this is just fantastic. It's basically so Paramount agreed to purchase the streaming rights for South Park, and Matt Stone and Trey Parker, their company, have agreed to produce 10 episodes a year. So this is how we get to the 1.5 billion. The deal is worth 300 million a year, over 5 years. So, and it makes South Park now one of the most valuable franchises in TV. And it's always been huge and relevant and big, but now it's just like, oh, okay, the money.
Really? Because the White House says it's irrelevant and doesn't matter and stuff.
They're totally right. It's not relevant. It's the most unrelevant show ever made, and
yeah, no one's watching.
No one cares. No one cares. How many views has the video on YouTube now gotten of the Donald Trump thing? I'm just gonna check in. Just
Okay.
Relax, guy.
Hey, Chuck Cage. We got some.
We got someone
people.
watching. Hello.
Yeah.
It's up to 4.9 million views. The clip of Donald Trump from the premiere of of South Park season 27. Yeah, fantastic. Hats off to Matt Parker and Trey Stone for once again just holding their own, being true to themselves, and saying fuck you to anyone trying to take them down for the wrong reasons. Censorship is a bad thing, and
Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, censorship is warranted where it's warranted, but in this case, South Park is just too good to be censored, and certain aspects might say too tiny to be censored as well. So, who can say?
Even though Paramount tried to pixelate it,
they did.
And they said no.
No. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love them. This is great. Mike, how are you feeling about all this wonderful South Park stuff coming out this week?
I'm happy that it's out because they had to push it back for a week because the merger was happening, and then even in the episode, because they make the episode every within 7 days, so even when the first one was released, they still don't know what's going to happen in the next one. Even at the Comic-Con panel that they were on, they said, "Oh, what's going to be next week? We don't know." it's still whiteboard. There's nothing on there, and that's how it's still relevant to this day of getting everything that's within the 7 days. So that's how it was highly topical when it first came out, and they had to reduce it because they were pushing for a 10-year thing, but they went back to 5 and 50 episodes because the merger was strange because they were having there was a big back and forth between HBO Max and Paramount Plus, where Paramount Plus had gave them a contract of specials that they did, but could only be on Paramount Plus and Warner Brothers / Discovery / HBO Max was kicking up big stink. It's like, no, because we have a right to actually have those episodes actually on there, but apparently in the fine print it's not really an episode, it's a special. So but still Matt and Trey were still getting paid, so yay. And that's why I sort of had Paramount Plus for a while, because I wanted to watch those things, because you couldn't watch them anywhere. Even in Australia, they don't really release them on TV anymore. So yeah. But now I have my means. And now they have the deal, and the greatest thing is they got paid, and they went scorched earth with the entire thing. And everything they wanted to say was put out right here. And I watched it, and I had to pick up my jaw from the floor, because I didn't expect them to go this hard. Because I still like South Park. I mean, people say it's like, oh, it's not as good as it was. It's like, well, it's a bit of fun, and I like the fact that they're only doing this because they're obligated to. They can retire and finish up, but exactly. Right now they have an incentive.
Oh yeah. And
what they did with Donald Trump is basically baiting him to sue them. This is the sole reason that they're doing this, is because they're under contract. They can't break the contract, and Paramount can't break the contract. Otherwise, they can sue Paramount. And if Paramount gets sued by the Trump Association, so Paramount's in between a rock and a hard place to keep it going for the next 5 years. And whatever happens in the next 5 years, who knows? But within the next 5 years, the Trump administration will be done, unless he goes for a third term, or even if Trump was going to stay there and they're not going to have any elections, they're still going to do what they want. And I love that they still have final cut. And yeah, as I said, Paramount Plus tried to censor, tried to pixelate the penis within, and said no. And I'm up to date with modern politics, and Trump has come out to say we want AI everywhere, without any restrictions or anything like that. That's a bad thing when it comes to like people believing in AI generated stuff. Like, he recently released an AI generated video of Barack Obama getting arrested on his own socials. Really bad. Therefore, Matt and Trey Parker did an AI generated video, or even a deepfake, but still it's AI, of Donald Trump. So, either they're going to think twice about AI generated shit, or they just let it go. But Trump has an ego the size of Manhattan. So I will be surprised if he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting
It's
to watch.
a weird time to be alive.
He definitely is. It definitely is. Oh, man. All right, that's the nerdy news.
Yeah.
We're done with the news, which means it's
And
time
I'm done
now.
with politics.
And we're done with politics. It's time to roll on up to the trailer park.
Yes.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers.
The trailers. Bum, 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 bum.
All right, it's trailer park time, and here we are talking about some Comic-Con related trailers, or just trailers in general. But we're going to start with Peacemaker Season 2. Another trailer. This is our second trailer, 2. This is more of giving us an idea what the story is going to be in the season. And James Gunn has said that it takes place 2 months after the events of Superman, because if you've seen Superman, you will know that Peacemaker makes a cameo appearance in the film.
Much to the chagrin of Fulya.
There's talk about how, because he's bad mouthing Superman in his appearance, but there's talk about how part of his story, or big or small, is going to be coming to terms with Superman not being a bad guy, for him, which is quite funny. But no, I guess the bulk of the story is obviously focusing on, the fact that Rick Flag Sr. wants his head because he killed his son. So he's got that going on. And then there's also a parallel universe that he has access to. And in this parallel universe, everything's perfect and dandy and lovely and wonderful, and it's exactly what he wants. And it seems like he gets lost in it a bit. So yeah. But it looks great. I'm excited. I feel like the great thing about the DCU and Superman's success so far, and James Gunn being able to incorporate this show that was a part of the Snyderverse, is now part of the DCU. It's just, I think it's really nice to see Peacemaker kind of getting a lot of attention, because I mean, season 1 was, for my money, it was an amazing season, and it was received pretty well. But I feel like now this is kind of taking Peacemaker to the next level, and I feel like he's gonna be riding Superman's coattails a little bit, and getting the flowers he deserves, I think, because I love this show. I love what James Gunn has done with it, and I watched James Gunn. He did that, I think it's Variety or I can't remember what, or Hollywood Reporter. It's one of those, but they do where the director talks about all their projects that they've worked on, and I'm pretty sure he said that Peacemaker is his favorite thing that he's done, and you can see why when you watch it, because it's just pure, unfiltered James Gunn goodness. So, but yeah, this was a great trailer. I'm really excited to get back into this world and see where the characters are at, and I'm glad to see that Vigilante is as chaotic as ever as well. He's so funny. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. Mike, how are you feeling about this trailer for Peacemaker Season 2?
I can't wait either, because I can't wait to see the explanation of how is it connected. I will say, James Gunn is also doing a podcast of doing a rewatch of Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about what they were doing within the show, and also at the end they do a little segment of what is canon and what is not. And one of the biggest things, there's only one episode and they've done the first episode, but the biggest thing is basically all the references to Aquaman. So therefore Aquaman wouldn't be established yet in the DCU. So in the DCU, no one knows who Aquaman is, so that's probably the biggest tricky thing. It's not necessarily the big cameo at the end of Aquaman, maybe. I don't know. Fully is watching. No spoilers here, because you are going to watch this.
Yeah.
And but that would be the biggest sticking point is in the first season is that. So I'll be continue listening to the podcast and telling what's canon and what's not. So that's good. But I'm a bit. I don't know about doing multiverse thing, because people are going multiverse. It's like, well, depending how they go about it. I'm sort of leaning towards it should be fine, I guess, but because Superman the movie had the sort of the world between worlds sort of thing of having that, and that could branch upon different worlds as well. So that's probably the sticking point within that. And yeah, I would, and I can't wait to see the more connection to the MCU, because in the previous trailer we get to see Hawkgirl and Max Lord and Guy Gardner again. So that's gonna be fun. More connections.
More.
Yeah, and yeah. There's one bit that I want to know which is canon and which is not. If Batmite is canon, because that's such an obscure reference to the Batman mythos. I'm not sure if that's going to be part of canon. I don't know, but it looks awesome. All the people are coming back, and can't wait. So when's this coming out? It's August sometime, isn't it?
Very soon. Peacemaker Season 2 will be in HBO Max on the 22nd of August.
And no, Fulya, I know people can't see this, but this is in the main chat. But yes, Fulya, you're going to have to watch it now. If you want to be part of the in crowd, part of the cool kids, you're going to have to watch every DCU thing. At least you don't have to watch The Suicide Squad, which is unfortunate.
I mean, I would, yeah. I watch The Suicide Squad, I think. I think it's still good.
Okay.
Plus,
she has seen it.
Yeah. Plus, Fulya, I would have thought that Marvel and like 15 years of the MCU would have trained you to know that you have to watch all the stuff and the things to get everything involved.
And you have to keep up. Keep up.
I joke, I kid, it's fine. But seriously, watch Peacemaker. Our next trailer, switching gears, we're going to now talk about the first trailer for Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. Yeah, this is great. I have no notes on this. It just looks like they haven't skipped a beat, they haven't missed a cue. It's like they've still been filming for 40 years, you know. Like it's literally has just kept going. They've done such a good job. Like I really like, it's a small detail, but I just love the fact that they're able to like perfectly create these wigs for them to look like as if the real characters had aged up to where they are. Like I know that's just, you know, basic makeup and hair in Hollywood, but I don't know, I just really like that. I just thought it was really cool. Like they all look exactly as you think they should, and you know, they've all gone into their various separate lives post, you know, their heyday, and it's just so funny just to see. Like, well, I've only seen the movie once, so I don't remember all their names, but I love the fact that one of them's just like, yeah, I'm still playing in a band, and then it's like this weird pub vibe, and then he just starts fucking shredding on the guitar. It's just really good. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be fun. There's some cameos. Sir Paul McCartney is in this movie for probably just that one scene. and Elton John's here as well. So so they're gonna fully integrate them into the modern contemporary world of music. And the fact that it's like this like impromptu comeback concert in New Orleans. Like, why New Orleans? Oh, there was this other thing that cancelled. It was a night with Stormy Daniels. Oh boy. But anyway, it's there's a lot to love here, I think, and it's just really cool to see, Harry Shearer, Michael McKean, and Christopher Guest back in the gear and back on stage. So yeah, bring it on. Mike, how are you feeling about this trailer? Did I know you're excited for the movie, but did the trailer live up to your expectations?
Yeah, and then some. Considering they can do cameos now.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, because they're doing a lot of UK artists, because the band's basically English, it will be interesting if they got Aussie just before.
Oh,
who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, who knows? But overall, it was very funny. Loved it. Rob Reiner, still good. Last time I saw him in the Bear. You should see it. And just the documentaries are always good, and just having it does remind me of Popstar, of having the fake enter the real world, and it's like, what if? And I'm wondering, because Paul McCartney's in it, I wonder if they're going to do. I wonder if they'll accidentally kill off Ringo Starr because they.
Oh yeah.
Because they kill or
all their drummers.
All their drummers die.
Yeah.
So who knows? Can't wait for this. This is going to be great, because I watched the movie like not too long ago, considering we heard about this coming out, and I thought, that's one of the movies that is on my comedy bucket list that I need to do, and even watching the original is still holds up. Considering the novelty of watching this is like, is it real? Isn't it real? It's kind of like Blair Witch or anything like that. But yeah. I think it's just fun, and then everything. I hope this movie just cranks out an 11 out of 10. So when is this coming out, Kendall?
Well, this is coming out also pretty soon, on the 25th of September.
Nice.
Okay,
we have Christmas film.
Yeah. Yes, one more trailer to talk about. This one is fresh out of Comic-Con as well. Predator Badlands. This is our second trailer, longer trailer. We've had a teaser trailer before, and yeah, it looks pretty decent. And I feel like the visual effects they have, or the makeup work, whatever they've done to create the predators themselves, like, it looks spectacular. So I'm really, tipping my hat to the visual effects team on this one, and just the world that they've created and the environments that they're in this movie too look really, really cool. It's directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who did Ray, which was, as most of us who are aware of it, is one of the best films in the entire franchise. Even just as a standalone movie, you can watch it and enjoy it. And this one is interesting. I think Badlands is interesting because we're kind of in the POV of the Predator world, and it's a Predator being sent down for their first hunt, sort of their initiation, I believe.
First blood.
Yeah. And there's this thing about, like, of all the planets you could have chosen, this is like one of the worst, sort of thing, most dangerous. And Elle Fanning gets to play this interesting, kind of quirky android, who's, has no legs, but looks really cool. Like the makeup work on her is quite good as well, and she's a great actress. So, yeah, I'm really curious about this movie now. Like I was interested with the first teaser that they put out, but now I'm more invested, I think. So I think I'm definitely leaning towards, excuse me, checking this one out because I think it'll look great on the big screen as well. So yeah, very solid trailer. What did you think, Mike?
Always fun. I always enjoyed these sort of films. I don't know why, like the Alien franchise and the Predator franchise, and for some reason it's connected. And even in this, it's sort of connected with the symbiote, not symbiote, the synthetic android character is very much the alien sort of version, and her being like being like the C-3PO sort of on the backpack sort of thing. Always good, because it's kind of hard to be emotionally invested into a character that doesn't really speak, and facial expressions are really hard to pinpoint. So you need something. So I think this is probably the best way to do it. And yeah, the creatures in it look fantastic. It's not really CGI slop. It's just it just works within the realm of believability of something that's weird and interesting at the same time. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I really enjoyed Prey when it came out. Just the concept of it. It's like what you really want within like a franchise like this that's been going on for so many years, and everyone's it's the tropes have been basically done to death. It's like, what do you do? What can we do something new? It's like, because the alien because predators have been around for like ages, you can do a period piece like Prey, and with this one it's like, oh, what happens if the predator is the main protagonist and you're following character? I love that sort of thing. Jurassic Park, please take notes.
Yeah.
Do something interesting and different. Let me please have human dinosaur hybrids now. Please. Yeah, I can't wait for this. It's going to be a bit of fun. And just another notch in the mythos and the lore of these franchises. So when is this coming out per se?
Yes, well, slightly longer wait on this one, but it is coming out this year. Predator Badlands will be in cinemas on the 6th of November.
Yeah. I also will mention that Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be returning to the Predator franchise.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. In the original cut of Predators Killer of Killers, which is on Disney Plus at the moment, and really fun. A fun little jaunt in period pieces with the Predators. He's going to be put back in because that was going to be originally, so they reworking stuff. So I much prefer that to retroactively put it in because it's Arnie.
Yeah.
And this will probably
Arnie's great.
Yeah. Because he does survive at the end. Covered in mud.
He sure does.
Will he still be covered in mud? He's very rude. You don't have to call him an ugly motherfucker. It's very rude.
An ugly motherfucker. Oh my god. Yep. So rude. Alright, well that's it. That's Trailer Park. We are done. Done diddly on. Which means now it's time for the moment.
The
The section.
Ooh.
the segment,
Segment.
the place,
Yeah.
the spot,
Yeah.
the thing,
The thing.
the thing. Yes, the thing.
The light.
The,
Torch?
the
The torchlight.
the
Popcorn
torch.
culture.
Ah, Who's that invisible woman?
Oh my god! Ah!
Ah,
It's Fulya.
Miss Fantastic.
I can hear you two like trying to delay the process, and I'm like, I gotta start recording.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm glad you
made
picked
it.
up on
I
that.
made it.
Thank you. You made it. Fulya's here, everyone. Yay!
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Yes. It's popcorn culture time.
Yay!
Yay! Which means we are here, of course, to discuss our thoughts, of which there will be many spoilers, on the Fantastic Four First Steps. Oh my god, it's finally here.
Fantastic
It's
Four.
yes, it has
Yes.
finally arrived.
It has finally arrived. We have waited so long for this movie. Some might say, forever, considering, it's nice to have a good Fantastic Four film. I don't know if I can speak for all of us, but I feel like this is a good film. This is a very entertaining ride. Yeah. So just overall thoughts first. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. For me, I mean, you guys know I love space movies. This felt like a space movie in a lot of ways to me. Like it was almost as if it was like Apollo 13 crossed with Interstellar, sort of, in a weird way. Just in terms of the visuals and the vibe and just, and it also had like I was listening to like one reviewer on YouTube described it as having like sort of disaster movie vibes a little bit, and it does, because like they think the world's gonna end, you know. And there's a good portion of the movie in the second half where they're just preparing, obviously, for the, it's like they're preparing for the comet that's going to smash into the Earth, but it's, Galactus. And there's that sense of dread and whatnot in there, and I'm like, oh, you know what, it does kind of have that sort of vibe, and I dig that as a vibe as well. Yeah, it was good for me in that in that aspect. Visually fantastic. Not to make a pun immediately, but it was, and like the 60s retro futuristic vibe worked perfectly. I'm so glad. Like I think I said it when they announced the concept of this film. Like, when it was revealed it was going to be in an alternate universe in the 60s, I'm like, this is the best decision they could have made for this movie, and I think it pays off in spades for them. Yeah. So that's really, really cool. And then yeah, the cast are great. I really enjoyed this version of Marvel's First Family. Not as campy or cheesy as the previous iterations, or as lazy as the last one. Ugh. But yeah, like, it's just, there was something in every character of the Fantastic Four to really like and enjoy and connect with, I think. And I really enjoyed Galactus as a villain. Like, he's not a fucking stupid cloud this time. He's an actual gigantic being. And that was great. They did him so well. Ralph Ineson fucking crushed it. As Galactus. Like, I love that they used his likeness, like, as well, not just his voice. His likeness is on Galactus, his face and all that. So he was great, and yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Yeah, definitely didn't, like, I wasn't sitting there like having like Civil War vibes or Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, but it's definitely up in the top tier of Marvel films, I would say. Probably in the lower end of the top tier, but definitely up there. So, and just nice to say that, yeah, they finally, I guess they finally got Fantastic Four right. So, I think they nailed it. So, yeah. We'll get into nitpicks.
They took it 4 times.
4 times. Very appropriate. Very appropriate. 4 times.
Fourth time's a charm.
4 times charms. But yes, I do have some nitpicks which we'll get into as we discuss. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Fulia,
Yes.
welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Hello. How did Fantastic Four work for you overall? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think?
So I still feel like I need to process it all. My initial instinct was I really enjoyed it. I really liked it when I came out of the cinema. And I'm so glad the session I went to, they were actual people who were interested in the movie. No one was talking where people had to shush people. So I was like, thank you. Actual people who understand the Marvel fans. So yeah, in general, I really did like this film. I did. It was very refreshing for a Marvel movie as well, and especially considering it was a bit more of a period piece compared to what we've seen so far in the MCU. And I just felt like this was a very Jetsons vibe of a it was like live action Jetsons but superheroes. That's exactly what it felt like for me. I could not stop thinking about how this family just felt like the Jetsons, and I wasn't mad about it because I loved growing up. I grew up with the Jetsons and I loved watching that animated show, so it was good fun. So yeah, like overall I found it very entertaining. There was a lot to love about it. There were some bits and pieces here that I wasn't sure about. But Galactus was really cool as the big bad in this film. And I'm so glad that it was Ralph Anderson. He really has this gravitas voice. You could really oh man, it's so good. It is so good. And yeah, I was also very surprised in the look of Galactus as well when you actually get to see him like properly with more lighting. That was an interesting sort of take in terms of its visuals of a Galactus. But overall, it was really cool. And then Silver Surfer, for whatever reason, I thought was Caitlin Dever. She looks so much like her.
Yeah, a little similar. Yeah.
And especially when we got to see some other footage prior to her being a Silver Surfer, spoilers. But yeah, like that was interesting to see as well. Just where her backstory came from as well. So that was really cool to see. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought we would that was all that we were just getting the Silver Surfer and that was it. Not like a whole backstory about her and her life and stuff. So yeah, no, it was great. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Nice. Mike,
Hello.
how did Fantastic Four work for you? Did you enjoy it or not? Or
I did very much enjoy it. And listening to what they were doing with the production, it's like this is a very interesting take to do it with, and I'm all for it. Like pseudo futuristic, but yeah, I like the aesthetic. I need a cough. Sorry, that's better. Yeah, I really did enjoy it. I was I didn't want to get my hopes up, but my hope that I had was actually met. I really it really touched me in a certain way because it is family orientated, and being a family man myself, being a family guy, I'm a family guy. It just struck me with what it was dealing with, especially between Sue and read. It was quite touching, quite lovely, and just having like all the supported characters being part of it and actually having stuff to do. It does remind me of Superman, of just not having like characters for whatever. They actually had their own roles to play. Happy Gilmore 2 does not do that.
No.
Just chuck shit in, see what works. Who cares? We've got the money. Who cares? But with this, it was all fitting perfectly within it, and the pace of it is really remarkable. And we'll probably talk about that later, of how they sort of streamlined the thing, and they went to what they were going for, and it was really remarkable of it just fitting nicely. And I actually watched this during the day in the cinema, which is kind of rarity for me, and I was just sitting there and like really enjoying it, just wash all over me, and not trying to watch a movie when all the kids are asleep and trying to enjoy it. It's like I'm really enjoying it, but I'm sleepy at the same time. It's definitely good. What else? Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Where it fits within Marvel sort of mythos, it definitely ranks a bit high for me because it is its own story. It doesn't really rely on too much like homework. Really, you can actually jump into this like cold, and it's good for that because it's its own separate story, own universe, and also it did the ending I did not expect, and I liked it for it. And where it goes, who knows? I like that sort of thing. Yeah, I like it.
Nice. Okay, we're all agreed. I love to hear this. So not to make too many comparisons to Superman. Obviously, Superman came out a couple of weeks ago. These two movies have kind of been stacked up against each other as we've gone into the blockbuster season, and now they're both out. The major thing that they have in common is the fact that we kind of do a speed run. We skip the origin in Fantastic Four as well. We don't really get, to see it happen unfold in real time in quotation marks. And I'm really glad for that. Like on the whole, because I feel like, like having it play out the way it did, and telling us, while they're doing the 4-year anniversary of what's happening they're on the Ted Gilbert show and that whole thing, and we're learning what happened, and then we're getting kind of we get a highlight reel of all their major bad guys they've fought against, and it's really cool and stuff, and it's a kind of a really interesting way to kind of throw you into the story, and then we get our setup and with the impending arrival, and then Galactus is in. So I feel like Fantastic Four should be done like this, in terms of we don't really need to see their origin, because they have been, like, as Mikey pointed out, this is the fourth film that's been released. There is another one that we people talk about but never really saw the light of day.
What's really fun is those people are actually making cameos in it.
Yes, I know. It's very cool. They were at the premiere too. But I feel like it works enough to just not spoon feed us their intro again and being like, taking us through them going up into space and then having, getting their powers, that whole thing happening, and then coming back and dealing with their powers. Like, that was one of the problems with the last attempt, was the fact that they did that, but then like they had a time jump, and then it was all kind of just fucking weird. Like, it was two halves of that movie did not marry up, and it just was, I mean, we can talk about that for ages if we want, but we're not going to. So I'm just glad that this time they give you everything you need to know, and they don't show you everything, and then we just can get into the story. And I think like the world itself does a really good job of letting you know how famous they are, the kind of heroes that they are, you know, with all the, you know, the merchandise and the animated show and all the advertising everywhere. Like, you know, they are beloved. You can tell immediately. And so I think it all works. My partner, however, didn't think it worked. He would have liked to have seen their origin done again from scratch. But that's probably because he's not a massive Marvel nerd like we are. So for the layperson, maybe they should have done another intro. I mean, like, because, you know, Superman, and that, I mean, yeah, we can skip Superman's intro, but Fantastic Four has been done a few times, but nowhere near as much in the zeitgeist as Superman. So I was just curious as to what you guys thought about that decision to kind of skip over the speed run the intro of Fantastic Four. Fulia, did you think it worked?
I think it worked fine. Like just having this sort of like sizzle reel kind of a thing happening in terms of, you know, what has happened so far. And, you know, we really don't need to see too much of what's happened. They went up to space, something happened, they got powers, they came back. That's really all we kind of needed to know, really. If they really want to go back into that side of the story, I feel like if they had have done that, it would have been a bit jarring, because what you've said with previous iterations of Fantastic Four, they've tried to do that, but then it didn't really mesh well in terms of the transition from that space trip to them back into real life kind of a situation. So I think they just wanted to avoid the producers probably just wanted to avoid that kind of a judgment in terms of having it seem like a previous iteration of the films. So I'm okay with the fact that they decided to not go that way. Similar with Superman. Superman was a lot more condensed compared to Fantastic Four in the fact that they just gave us text. So we had to read for a bit.
How dare they?
I know. But I suppose the thing that I really liked about the Fantastic Four version is the fact that it gave us the small snippets of what we needed to see, essentially. So for me, that was enough. Like just little bits and pieces of what happened in the past to where they are now, and that kind of melds well, much better than what would have been. So I was okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Nice. Mike, what about you? Did it work for you as well?
I think it did. It definitely reminded me of how they handled Spider-Man, because they've already had two versions of it, and if you're paying attention, it's more streamlined. I think what they were doing is establishing the world, as well as establishing the characters like straight on. Then you can go right into the story, and following these characters or where they are now at this present time, and having little snippets of their sort of character as well. And I appreciate that they started with Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, and because it's all to do with family, and I really enjoy that. And I was going to save this at the end, but it sort of involves my theory of what's going to happen. I think, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I don't think this is going to be the family for long within the MCU, because Kevin Feige has come out and says, well, yeah, we're going to have like a huge factory reset, which is what people have been speculating, like after Secret War. how everything's going to be chucked together, and then now we're going to have a well-established universe that's got the X-Men, Fantastic Four, as well as everyone else, and then they can like recast like Iron Man and all that stuff. And I think it being the first steps, name implied, I don't think these actors are going to be Fantastic Four for the MCU. I don't think, because it made me feel like I enjoyed it, but it will definitely be a bit of a shock if they were jammed into the new universe, and that's why people were sort of speculating that this iteration of the Fantastic Four, their world was going to be destroyed, so therefore they have to hightail it out of there. And I like the fact that they didn't do that. It just made us guessing a bit more. So I don't think Pedro Pascal is going to be Mr. Fantastic in the new MCU. I think they said, we just need you for 2 movies and then that's it. And I deliberately said 2 movies.
Mike, usually I love your brain, but right now I don't know how I feel.
I mean, we only know of 2 films that he will be in, which is this one plus,
Doomsday.
Yep, pretty much.
Doom.
Yes, well, we'll talk about him later.
Overall, I did enjoy the sort of fast-paced sort of stuff.
Okay.
Then it gets down to the nitty-gritty, like, real story.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about Marvel's First Family as they were adapted here. Reed Richards, played by Pedro Pascal. I really liked him in this. Very different Pedro performance. Like, he's definitely like, it's just not the Pedro plays. Like, he doesn't give the same performance in every movie he's in. Like, he plays a lot of similar roles. Like, he's playing a father again here, and he's been father figures and whatnot, and
Zaddy.
And he's a zaddy. But yeah, this just kind of seemed, like, to go from watching him in The Last of Us to coming in and watching him in this, and like Reed is just like the antithesis of Joel. Like, he's very, well kept together. He's very intelligent and aware and just like very like, I feel like Reed Richards, he wouldn't hurt anyone if he didn't have to. Like, I kind of get that kind of vibe, but no, I liked the way they showed his intelligence, with him having his own like little TV show where he like teaches kids science stuff, and like that was really cute. And but then like him, it go like, and then like taking that and going to like the dark places where like, they have the big conundrum of the film is like, do we sacrifice our son to save the world? Which I want to talk about as a separate thing. But just to say, like, that scene where we get like him talking to Sue and saying like, I have to think, my brain thinks about the worst possible case scenario so I can find out a way for us not to get to it. And I really liked how they explored that in this, is like, that's just how his brain works. He's very much like a computer, sort of a calculator. He's analyzing and working the problem constantly and stuff. And I don't think it makes him cold either, because there's definitely a warmth to him as well, which I think is really good. Speaking of warmth, Johnny Storm, great. I really liked him in this movie. I think they did a really good job with him. He was just the right amount of playboy versus hero, I suppose. Like, he was funny, but not like trying hard to be funny, and he was very charming, and I liked that he had agency in the story, like the fact that he discovers Shalabal's language. I thought that was a really cool thing. And like, he's kind of, they have that trope of like, you should listen to the guy that nobody listens to because he's got some information, but I think they did it really well in here with how they used him, and the funny little jokes of him, like, I finally met someone, and this is who she is, and like blah blah blah, like, that was interesting. But yeah,
Johnny loves space. Johnny loves women. Finally the match made in heaven. I get it.
Yeah, but he was really good. Excuse me, Ben Grimm, The Thing was great as well. I'm glad they didn't really go full in on the my life is ruined because I'm a rock monster sort of story. Like they've done that a lot, and I get why you do that a lot because like he out of the four of them suffered the greatest change. He doesn't look like he used to. He can't walk down the street and slip in unrecognized in a crowd and all of that. And that, that would do a lot to a person. But I'm really glad that they kind of hint at the effect it has on him. Like when he, is in those scenes where he's by himself walking down the street and stuff and how he goes to, you know, I didn't realize Natasha Lyonne was in this movie, and I was like, amazing. But I like the little bond that they set up between the two of them, so that was nice. And the fact that he has a beard as well was really funny, and I really liked that just as a stylistic choice for him to have a beard. But yeah, he was great. I really liked him, and then Sue Storm, very good. I really enjoyed Vanessa Kirby's performance. I think out of the four, she was the best. I think, like, just in terms of what she had to do, and like, her character goes through a lot in the movie. She becomes a mum, and then she has to, do everything she can, including sacrificing herself, as we see, to save her son. Um, and one of my favorite scenes in the movie, I think, was the moment where she comes out and she addresses the crowd, like this crowd that's gathered at the foot of the Baxter Building, to be like, "We hate you, Fantastic Four. We used to love you. We don't anymore because you've chosen yourselves over us," is how they see it, and that's totally fair. And like I said, we'll get into that. But I just loved how in the trailers there was this one clip of her saying, "We'll do this together. We'll survive it together as a family," and you think she's just talking to Ben and Johnny and Reed, but she's addressing everyone in that. And I fucking loved that. I thought that was so good because the argument, like that argument at the core of the film is just so strong, and it's been done to death, but like it's really strong. And then the fact that they used her speech to kind of not only give Reed the inspiration for how to stop Galactus, but, just to turn the public back in their favor and be like, we're not going to sacrifice our kid for you, but we're not going to sacrifice you for our kid. I thought that was fucking awesome. So big tick for me. Fulia, how do you feel about the four family members, the wonderful four, the Fantastic Four, even some might say? How did they work for you in the movie?
Yeah, look, I will also go off your Pedro Pascal comment, the fact that the way that he played Johnny, sorry, not Johnny,
Reed.
Reed, it was a really interesting take. Like just seeing him perform in that role was definitely very different to what I've seen him in a lot of other things that he's done, where they've been a lot darker, a bit more brooding. In this instance, he's more kind of like he's a dad, he's a scientist. He wants to make sure that he protects his family at all costs, and he'll do anything to protect his family, essentially. And I could I could see it through the mannerisms, the behavior of the character, and like Pedro did a very good job performing as Reed in this particular film, and I love that. I really did. It was a breath of fresh air. I think it's because we've been seeing Pedro in so many things lately, and especially within the last like 5 to 10 years, we've been seeing so much of him on our screens. Seeing him play this role in the way that he did was very refreshing for me, and I really like that. So kudos to him for that. And seeing everybody else in their roles as well. I think out of the four, Johnny Storm was my favorite, and not because of his charming good looks. It was mostly just because of just his personality and the way that he was behaving in front of people, and his little quips that sort of give you the lightheartedness within the film as well. And the fact that he did, even though Reed was doing his own research, Johnny was doing his too. And he wanted to contribute to that. And I really liked that about him. So um the fact that he was so invested in the Silver Surfer and the language and those recordings that Reed was getting from outer space, and he was like, I've heard this before, where have I heard it? And he's like going into it. He's gone into the sort of like the the character with the pins and the red yarn and trying to pin it all together and make it all join up and on the board, and and that's kind of the vibe that I got from him, that he really wanted to contribute to the research essentially, so that he could also protect his family, because he's the brother of Sue, and he wants to do everything he can for his sister. It was so great. I just seeing these characters a little bit more. And then we've got Ben. Like, how cool was Ben? I love that he didn't want to be that type of celeb. Like, I get it. He didn't want to be that celebrity that did all the lines, because a lot of the celebrities don't like doing that sometimes, and I get it. So the fact that he went with this whole role of he's still like this really like charming person. He loves to cook, and he'll do the grocery shopping for the family. He'll go out and and grab stuff, and make sure that, again, another person in the family that wants to protect the group. Each of them do in their own way. They all have a reason to protect their family, and that's what I really got out of this particular movie. That it was a movie about family bonding and just how much they love each other, and the power of family, of what that power can do in this kind of a context, in this kind of a universe as superheroes. So I really love these characters. Sue Storm, like, holy crap, what a badass lady. The fact that she can use her invisibility powers not just to turn invisible, but to also force things, like push things out of the way. And man, especially the scene towards the end with Galactus, holy crap, like that just shows you how much love, the love of a mother will do anything to protect their child. Like, they'll go to the ends of the earth. They will die for their kid. That is what a mother does. And they showed it in this movie. So every single character had their role to play, and they played it all well. And I loved them all. They were really amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's really glad to hear. Mike, how did the characters within the Fantastic Four first family work for you?
I really enjoyed it. That they decided to, like, instead of doing like the comic, they went straight into, this is pretty much the comic book come to life sort of characters, and that's why I'm thinking this is probably not going to be the one that we're going to have in the future MCU. I think we're just going to go, let's just like tromp down on that bit of having straight to comic to movie sort of adaptation, and I think it's sort of paid off. With Johnny Storm, like, yeah, we've seen Johnny like before, but this one, yeah, he's ladies man, he quips, he jokes. His relationship with Ben is always fun, of how they sort of like narc at each other, and that sort of dynamic is always fun. but he had a role within the family as well as of actually helping out where it is, and they all have their own little bits of actually helping within the family, and it's a family dynamic, and with Ben Grimm, I think it's a. I feel like it's a bit like the previous incarnations of trying to be the person that you are, but as well as you are now a thing. But it's sort of the other way. People have the misconception, or even the real conception of, him being this fantastic thing, the absolute force of nature that he is. And you see it with the kids at the school. I was like, hey, lift the car, and the guy's like, do the line. It's like, I don't do the line. And I think this is sort of the same sort of message that they have with the previous Ben Grimms, of embracing the fact that you are this thing now, and that's an okay thing. Like he's like semi-serious, and it's like he doesn't really joke that much when he's being before the transformation, and him just embracing the fact that he is this thing now, as well as having a power, and it's okay to have fun every now and again, and then we finally get the line, it's clobbering time, straight from him. And I love the fact that this also is, this whole thing is actually based on like Jim Kirby's sort of life as well, because Ben Grimm is sort of like the Kirby's life of being downtown and also being Jewish, and that sort of dynamic as well. And I like the fact that this world doesn't really have prejudice. It's sort of a weird utopia of not having prejudice. I mean, it's in the 60s, but there's no like Jim Crow laws or anything like that. It's very multicultural, and it's lovely like that. Sort of proves that, get over yourself sort of aspect. It's hopeful. It's a very hopeful sort of thing, and it also ties into what Superman is. It's hopeful. It's stick to your guns, and also try and help, and don't be a dick. And come on, a lot of people are saying don't be a dick. Even Jesus says don't be a dick, and they crucified him for it. The human race is weird. Okay. And overall with Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm and their dynamic is absolutely lovely. I don't know. It's weird. The first scene that they have, and it's great that they actually learn together of being pregnant for the first time. And I'm sort of biased. So it's just like catnip. It's just, I love that scene. I love all the scenes where they have with the ultrasounds as well, and you can just see the love between each other, and also the love for this thing that's growing. It's I just really love it, and just the cassette, and just the overall having a birth in space is also weird. It's a great sort of metaphor of the weird and wonderful, and it all takes place in this little room, and just the ending sort of it's just the love of a parent as well, and also when Mr. Fantastic is just coming to terms of, yes, I have my flaws, and I hope my flaws don't become like your characteristics, Franklin. It's just, every parent sort of has that sort of thing. It's like, please be better than me, sort of thing. And that's also in Superman as well, between Clark and his dad. Is like, we don't want you to be what we think you need. We give you the tools so you can be your own thing. And it's, and I love that scene in Superman as well. And I love that scene with Reed just talking to his boy, and that baby with fucking big blue eyes, it melts my heart. And I think these at the moment are the best versions of these characters. Having said that, of what I said before, it's going to be extra grueling if they do change it on us, and it just works really well with Sue Storm, like basically going into the lion's den with Franklin is like, yes, this is what we decided, and having that line of I'm not sacrificing my kid for the planet, but I'm not sacrificing the planet for my kid. It's that duality, and it's also being motherly as well. Yeah, I really like this movie being family orientated. Probably a bit more than Guardians 2, which did come out at a significant time in my life of being a dad for the first time and trying to reflect on being a dad at the same time of not really having a dad growing up. So how can you judge yourself? And yeah, it's great. I really enjoy these sort of characters, and just the gut punch at the end. It's like, are they really going to do this? I did joke that in the MCU they always have to kill off a Fantastic Four member, starting with Reed and then Johnny. It's like, and then our joke is like, oh, it's got to be Ben or Sue. I was fucking kidding. That made me bawl. It's like, don't do this. And having yeah, we'll talk about the ending anyway. I love it.
Oh wow, I love the emotion, Mike. Thank you.
I'm a sucker for family.
Oh, I'm dying as well. Oh, it's great. Great time to podcast. Yes. So we've talked about our good guys. Let's talk about our bad guys. We have Galactus, and we have Shalabal, the Silver Surfer. I mean, one could argue Shalabal's not really a bad guy. Definitely an antagonistic presence, but you know, when we learn about her character, she's, you know, a lot more well-rounded than, you know, we expected her to be.
Bit of an anti-hero, you would say.
A little bit, yeah.
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 A reluctant traveler.
Mm.
Yes, yeah. You know, she, you know, makes the decision to, you know, give herself to Galactus so her planet can be spared, and, you know, and she has to sacrifice all of that, you know, leave all of that behind to, you know, be his herald and serve him. But yeah, I liked how kind of OP she was. Like the fact that she can just kind of phase through any object, and molten lava and rock doesn't mean anything to her. She's just whatever. It's fine. You know, even a black hole can't defeat
apparently.
So I just kind of like that, because it kind of, I feel like it makes sense, because, you know, Galactus has clearly imbued her with some of his power, and for someone as powerful and mighty as him, you know, he would want his, you know, most trusted servant, I suppose, to be somewhere close to his level, as a representative of him, I guess. So, but yeah, I really liked her, and I don't know why people. I mean, I should know why people were up in arms when they announced Silver Surfer was going to be a woman in this one, even though there's precedent in the comics for the character to be a woman. Because I this character would have been fine either gender, male or female. It doesn't matter. But I like the fact that they did something different here, and you know, because obviously, like, you know, Rise of Silver Surfer was the last time in live action we got a glimpse of this character, or a version of the character, and a lot of people kind of took that as the accepted and most popular version of the character. And I think the most, you know, even in the comics, I think the male version is probably more widely accepted. But I really liked that they did this different, and, you know, because there's so many male characters in the movie as is, so it's really good that they made her female. I think. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh God. Sorry. I think for me, my favorite set piece in the film was when she was chasing them as they were leaving Galactus's ship and going, going through the wormhole. Like the wormhole in itself, when they're traveling at light speed, looked really cool. But then the fact that she was able to catch up to them in that wormhole and then like surf it, and then they got out of it, and then the black hole thing happened, and like that whole sequence is absolutely fantastic. And then you've got Sue in labor the whole time as well.
Man, she was hard to shake off.
She was so hard to shake off. I even Johnny's trying to fire at her and everything. It's just nothing's working. So yeah, I really like that. And then I also really enjoyed the fact that she stood up at the end and protected Earth and sent Galactus through the portal. I mean, I don't want to say it's predictable because I should have seen it coming. I didn't actually see it coming. I was like, oh, Johnny hinted at making a sacrifice before then, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now the moment's come. I'm like, oh fuck, is Johnny Storm about to go off into oblivion? And then she just swoops in and go, oh, of course, because they've set that up as well, that she's unhappy working for him. Yeah, and all of that. So yeah, so it's fine. It was good. I'm gonna speed run my Galactus thoughts because I'm struggling to not cough. I really loved Galactus, as I said earlier. I loved his introduction to the first time you see him. The fact that they really give you a good idea of the scope of him and how big he is by just having, the Fantastic Four kind of come in, and then they're just looking up, and you can't. The void of the room is so big that you can't make him out in the darkness, and then you get these two big blinding eyes that just switch on, and it was just like, oh my god. And and then he starts to talk, and it's just, his presence is just insane. Like I was really impressed, and I genuinely found him really intimidating as I was watching him, because just the pure scale and size of him is just phenomenal. And again, Ralph Ineson just knocked it out of the park with his performance. Even when he's in the real world at the end of the film, when he comes in and you just, the way they let him emote in his face, and you can see the anger and the frustration, like he just wants Franklin, and then he wants to obviously consume the Earth, but like the fact that the Fantastic Four managed to piss him off so much, and you're just like, oh holy fuck, like it's just, it really all came across really, really well. And the fact that he saw their plan, like when he looked down and he saw like they probably could have covered that up better, right? That triangle. But anyway,
I may be big, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah, so it was good. I really love what they did with him. I thought it was brilliant. Compared to what we've seen, which hasn't been much, it's just really nice to have some good villains, and the way they were connected to our heroes, with Franklin Richards, the baby, being at the center of it. It all played out very well. Fulya, tell us your thoughts on Shalabal and Galactus. What did you think?
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Galactus because I think he was, like you said, very intimidating, very just demanding, I suppose. Like he commanded the room, very commanding in the room. And seeing the scale of his size was insane. It was so huge. And the fact he could essentially be the size of a bloody planet, but the fact that he can fit inside of Earth was also very surprising. And when he stood up in the sea, when he landed towards the end, and it was like the water, the sea water was literally just, you know, maybe up to his shins. Because that's how big he was, and it was very, very intimidating to see that size. Kaiju, bigger than kaiju. Uh, but yeah, Galactus was just I really liked Galactus as a villain in this particular movie. It really worked well, in a way. And then we have, the Silver Surfer. Now, the Silver Surfer for me, I kind of wish we had a bit more, kind of like a backstory to the Silver Surfer, just because of the fact that I'm not I'm one of those type of people who's not really well versed in some of the characters in the MCU, in Marvel in general. And the Silver Surfer is one of them. I kind of wish, like, apart from the fact that we got the connection as to why she ended up as the scout for Galactus, I kind of wish we got a little bit more about her before she turned into the Silver Surfer, because all we got was this little snippet, like flashback of her with her child on a beach. All of a sudden, she makes a sacrifice for her planet so that her planet could be saved, to become the scout for Galactus, to scout out planets to destroy, that he could consume. And then all she did was step on a Silver Surfboard, and then done. She turned into the Silver Surfer, and I'm like, okay, is that all we're gonna get? I suppose. I kind of wish we got a little bit more of her. Like, we didn't really get too much from her apart from the chase scenes that we got. Yeah, we didn't really learn too much about her. I think that's the one thing that I wasn't really a fan of in the film, was the fact that we really didn't learn too much about the Silver Surfer. But yeah, Galactus was just insanely intense, and I loved that Ralph Anderson was the voice of it. So it was so good.
Nice. No, okay. I like your take on Silver Surfer, Fully. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what they could have done if they'd decided to show a bit more about her. Yeah. I do. That's kind of actually one of my criticisms in terms of, like, the movie being under 2 hours, is that I feel like they could have beefed it out a little bit more.
Just a little bit, yeah.
In some areas, yeah. But we got what we got. So
yeah.
I suppose we just have to accept it. And then write fan fiction if we want. Mike, how did the bad guys go for you? What did you make of our two?
Well, speaking of making it longer, just a little tangent here, but it's still related with the bad guys. They actually do reference, like, a lot of Fantastic Four bad guys in this. And that's why I'm still thinking that they're speed running the entire Fantastic Four canon for us, so it'll butter us up for the real versions in the far future. And because John Malkovich was meant to be in this. Yeah, he was playing a character that was actually controlling the big orangutan that Reed nerfs off the bridge, but they cut him because for time, so they can condense it. So yeah, bad, but still, I kind of like the pacing. I can't really stay for long in movies anymore because I need to go to the toilet. I'm an old man now. Yeah, and with that, the Silver Surfer I really enjoyed, and her sort of journey. Yeah, could have dealt with a bit more, but I kind of like the fact that her story parallels with Sue Storm's. Like, she sacrifices herself for her child, so to help the planet as well, to choose other planets. And so she sees what Sue Storm does at the end and says, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing. Kick him into the portal. So I saved the day because the power of a mother's love, basically. So I can save Sue and her baby, because I couldn't save my baby really and my planet because I had to go all silvery. So I kind of like that sort of parallel sort of journey at the same time. And Galactus was phenomenal. I love the fact that they decided to go practical in a way. They actually got Galactus in the suit, like, and just filmed it as a bigature, and the fact and having him like parade around, because I'm a big sucker for Godzilla films. So I just love the fact that they actually got a guy in a suit walking around a miniature. Where are they? New York, somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I really love how they filmed it. Was it New
Times Square, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it looked like it.
I really love the fact that they use CRT TV screens
instead of giant LED ones.
Like big ones.
A nice touch.
Like, I love that. It's like, yeah, because you can do it. And also, another thing that I really enjoyed, and I don't know why, but it just made me happy, when they're actually riding Excelsior, and they actually film like with inside. I love the fact that Reed invents things that would help. He invents things that are a necessity and not necessarily things that help, and that's why the ship doesn't really have anti-gravity, and they float. I just love that fact. I don't know why, because we get to see it in Guardians. Like they're all like, you know, standing around, and it's like everything's got anti-grav. It's like, no, let's just make them float. I love that. I don't know why, but
like a normal spaceship.
Yeah, like a normal spaceship. Realism.
Yeah,
I love my realism in my
realism in a Jetsons kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like these villains. Well, one villain and one turncoat.
Yeah.
And also big props, not a death at the end. He's still out there.
Yeah.
I love that fact. Because Marvel does have a tendency to kill off good villains.
Yes.
Like Killmonger and and all the others that are really good. It's like, oh, just for one movie? Okay. Yeah. So it is a shame about John Malkovich too, because he would have been good to watch. But I don't know. You probably get a Bill Murray cameo in Quantum Mania just there for just cause. I don't know.
Just cause. Cool. Well, let's talk about the big issue at the heart of the movie, and that is when they get to Galactus's ship, and then and Galactus immediately zeroes in on the unborn baby in Sue's belly, and says, "I'll spare your world if you give me the child, because
show me the baby."
Because apparently, and this is actually true to the comics, Franklin Richards is destined to be the next Galactus, basically. Galactus says he has the same hunger that he has, and he will be my successor, and I'm tired. Like, I love the fact that they didn't make Galactus a character of I'm evil for no reason sort of thing. Like, he has a motivation. Like, he kind of seems to have suffered this curse, and he's like, I was once like you. I was once small and all of this, and now I'm consumed by this never-ending hunger that has plagued my existence, and now I've found someone that can replace me, and I can die, basically. Like, he wants it to end, you know. So I really liked that aspect of it. But 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 then of course there's Reed and Sue, and all of them are immediately like, no, we're not gonna we're not gonna do that. And then that doesn't go down well, and then they get back to Earth, and that goes down even worse, and Earth turns against them. And I always find this debate fascinating in film and TV and literature and whatever, like this whole the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few sort of thing. Like, would you sacrifice one to save all, sort of thing? And
trolley problem.
The trolley problem. It is a trolley problem. Yeah. And I at first, when I was watching this movie, because I have a like, my brain's kind of logical sometimes, not all the time. But when I'm watching this movie, I'm going, they've got to give up the kid. They're not sacrificing the kid. The kid's not going to die, but they're going to say goodbye to their child and probably never see it again. Who knows? But they don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, they're like, well, we're not doing this. My brain initially went, I think they should, because it's the entire world, and there's so many other sons and fathers and daughters and everybody else. There's a whole world, right? And then I'm watching the movie, and as I mentioned before, we get that great scene with Sue when she comes out and she gives her speech, and she puts her case to them very eloquently and passionately, and in a way that makes sense. And she got to me too, because because I don't personally, like, some could say it's cold to make that choice, be like, sacrifice someone to save everyone else. Like, it shouldn't, like, Steve Rogers says the same thing, like, when they're talking about sacrificing Vision to save everyone, in Infinity War, and he's like, that's not the way we do this. It's not how we play. And I get that, but at the same time, I'm also like, come on, do you want everyone to die? But then here, they really just did a great job of really getting me on side and going, we are all this family. We're all in this together. We're all human. We all have loved ones. But we shouldn't be railing against each other. We should be coming together on this. And then I love how the movie then goes into, like, every country in the world, like, communicates with them, and with these, the portal towers that go up everywhere, and like, I just really loved how that swung into just, we should find, like, there's another way. Like, it's definitely not worth sacrificing one person to save everyone, even if it is the logical decision. It doesn't make it the right decision. And so I really liked that they kind of made me go, no, wait, we can it's actually honorable. If we were all to die to save one child, then hey, that's the honorable way to go, I suppose. You're not sacrificing your soul, I guess. Not that I would be if I made the other decision. But anyway, you know what I mean? I feel like the movie handled that issue beautifully and exceptionally. Fulya, what did you think of it? And what side of the argument do you fall on?
This was a bit of a thinker for me, because when the whole idea of sacrificing your own child to save a world and vice versa, it was, I don't know, like, as the movie was playing out, I was actually thinking about it. I thought, I can see both sides of the argument. I really could. I know that most parents would rather not sacrifice their child if they didn't have to. In a situation like this, I kind of feel like, I don't know. I can't really say too much, considering that I don't have a child myself to be able to give that kind of a comparison. I don't have that same kind of, like, the bond that I would have with a child, how much I would love them and all that sort of stuff. I don't know that.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a conundrum for me, like the whole idea of sacrificing your own kin to save your planet, right? But at the same time, you like as we find out that Galactus wanted Franklin to be his successor, which means it's just going to keep going. It's just another circle of destroying planets. That also had me thinking, well, no, I probably wouldn't want that either. So yeah, it was a tough one to because then what's the other side of it? Like, what if Galactus did end up getting, like, what if you ended up sacrificing your kid and then Galactus turns around and is like, no, sorry, I lied, and then just destroys the world anyway? You don't know. You don't know. He may not stand by his word. So, yeah, it was a difficult sort of a decision, but I can see why Sue didn't want to sacrifice, obviously. But then when her and Reed ended up arguing over the fact that Reed had the thought of actually doing it, and then Reed explaining, I need to get to that point so that I can find other options, which I totally understand as well. Like, you have to think about it in that respect too. Like, what if we ended up sacrificing our child? What would happen then? You know? So, like, it was one of those kind of situations where it was like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, essentially. So, yeah. I don't know. It was a tough one to sort of think about, really.
Yeah. It's a big issue. I remembered something else that I think Shia LaBeouf says it to Johnny, I think, about how, like, if he was old enough, he would make the decision for himself. And I found that really interesting because I feel like in a movie like this, say if Galactus wanted Reed Richards, Reed would totally.
He would go.
He would go.
Easy.
He would go. So I like how she kind of introduced that dialogue of, like, well, actually, if you think about it like this, I mean, yes, he's a baby and he doesn't have the ability to make decisions yet, but him in 10, 20 years, whatever, would be able to make that choice. And I love how she kind of throws that in as an extra sort of
yeah, exactly
on the point. Mike, as the only one of the podcast who is a parent, I'm sure you've got some thoughts on this issue. If you care to share them, I would love it. What did you make of this whole conundrum?
Well, I would like to plead the fifth and not answer, and
amazing
because the movie has answered it for me. You
amazing.
Find another solution. If it comes to a trolley problem, you just take out the trolley off the tracks.
Yes, and that's what they did.
And that's what they did.
And that's exactly what they did. Excellent. Yes. Which, can now, if you want to, roll into our ending discussion.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Try to question if I would.
We tried baiting him. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
He saw the line. He didn't cross it.
If you had the chance, would you kill your own child?
No.
Yeah. This was a good ending because it did hold my breath because I wasn't sure what was going to happen with the world or even with these characters, which is the best place for a Marvel film to do because it's the who knows, just edge of your seat, so, sort of chomping at the bit and seeing what happens. But overall, I really enjoyed the experience of it. Even when I was going, seriously, no, we're not having a character death here, please. Considering, yeah, a lot of people were complaining about the CGI on the baby. And
I hated it.
And I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh,
Why?
CGI."
Why?
I was too much in the moment to actually care.
I'm happy for you. I wish I could be you in that moment then, because it annoyed me.
Fucking Luke Skywalker at the end of season 2 of Mandalorian. I don't care. I just love the experience.
That looked better than this though. I will say. But anyway.
Whatever. A baby crying and reaching for its dead mother. Are you
I mean-
heartless?
That was the only time. Look, okay, you're right. I mean, that was the only time the CG babyface worked for me, or I could put it aside, or I could forgive it. It was in that moment because it was such a powerful moment. So
Yeah. You try to get a 1 month old to enact. It is a bit difficult, and yeah, I was in the moment, and I was bawling. And then it's Franklin's this big, powerful being in the near future, and people are speculating that he's the first step towards the end. So cool. Franklin is Jack.
Franklin is Jack. Yeah.
Well, essentially, it is as like another version of the Incredibles.
Well, the Incredibles. The Incredibles are a version of Fantastic Four. I would say. You know,
Okay.
considering they came after.
Fair enough.
Tomato.
Tomatoes, yeah. Tomato. My thoughts on the ending, I liked it as well. I was definitely emotionally invested in everything that was playing out. The action was really great. I particularly enjoyed, and I don't know why I should say I enjoyed this, but I just really liked, because we don't get to see a lot of Mr. Fantastic doing his stretchy thing in this movie. There's enough of it, but they don't really go over the top with it or anything. But that moment where Galactus is holding him.
Oh man,
Pulling
I
him.
was scared.
Same. I was like, I know it's Pedro Pascal, but he doesn't have to die in everything, and I'm sure Reed Richards doesn't die this way.
Yet.
Yet.
The other, go on.
He doesn't turn into spaghetti. Let's say that.
And his head doesn't pop.
No popping.
You know what? My brain was going as Galactus was stretching him. I'm like, once he lets go, like if he does let go, my brain thought that he wasn't going to let go. He was just going to keep going and going. But the other side of my brain was when he did let go, I'm like, is he really going to end up like rebounding back to normal size, or is he going to end up staying stretched out? That was where my brain went.
That's funny. I love that. I mean, that's fair. Because then when he like floats down and you start to see him pull back,
because you think about like,
oh, that's right. He can reform.
You sort of think about like the cartoons where they do that sort of stuff. When someone's really that stretchy, they get stretched out so much, they don't go back to normal. They just stay stretched. That's where my brain went.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair. But no, I really liked that as a moment because the tension was really high, and like the fact that it was like he was stretching him so far that the fabric on the
amount of time that they decided to take with that also makes it that more intense.
Yeah.
They're really holding this moment so that people can be like, oh my god, is he really going to go that far with Reed?
Yeah, they were putting that long. Putting through that pain for that long. It was hectic. But yeah, and then just, like I wasn't entirely surprised when the portal plan didn't work because it was a little, like it was a great plan, but I'm like, oh no, it's not going to be that easy. So then I really believed, and I'm sure as Mike, you've indicated, you kind of did too, that they were going to kill Sue Storm off because they're doing that thing because like you have characters in movies like this where they're in the third act and they look like they've died. They do this. There's always this thing where like you focus on them and there's an acceptable amount of time that will pass before they start breathing again or start moving again, and you're like, oh, okay. But I feel like in this scene the acceptable amount of time passed and then I started crying.
They stretched it.
Yeah, they stretched it.
Yeah, they really stretched it.
They really dragged it out, and it did get me. I was like, because like just seeing Reed try to resuscitate her, and then giving up, and then hearing Ben's voice, saying like, she's gone or whatever he said. I can't even remember what he said.
Yeah.
But then just like their reactions to her dying, and I'm just, oh my god, like they fucking done it. What the hell? And I'm just tearing up. And then, of course, he comes Franklin, Jack.
Look,
Yeah,
before you go on, I just want to mention
please.
the moment that the baby started crying, the moment that Franklin started crying, the moment that Franklin was placed on Sue, my gut instinct was like, he's gonna do something that's gonna make Sue come back to life.
Yeah,
instantly.
yeah. I didn't get that instantly because
Yeah.
I was just like, the baby's crying for his dead mother, and I was like, oh my god, this is.
I got that as well, but at the
too hard.
same time, my gut was like, all right, well, he's crying so much that something's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and she's gonna come back to life.
Well, the moment he went still and
Yeah.
silent, I was like, oh, okay, he's doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like Vanessa Kirby, her performance, like this scene where she's like just giving everything, and she just keeps pushing and pushing against him, and Reed's just begging her not to, and oh man, yeah, it was great. It was like the perfect payoff for what they've done with her throughout the whole film. I think in terms of this mother she became, like we watched her become a mum in this film, and usually I don't really like pregnancy storylines, or like, you know, because she's the only main female in the cast, really, like if you don't include Shallow Bell, who's also a mum, but they make her being a mum all of her character, but I think Sue is much more than just a mother. And the way her as a mother is used in the story, I think, is done really well. And it all makes sense and works.
Being a mother is a superpower.
Yeah. So I know, I liked that she had autonomy outside of just being a mum, and Franklin being the center of the story worked. Like, you know, I didn't. It took me until I sat down to watch the movie, and they're talking about the baby, and I'm like, oh, that's why it's called First Steps, because it's a baby. There's a baby here. Anyway, yeah, Fulia, your thoughts on the ending, and then we'll just quickly touch on the post-credit scene, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, look, the ending was yeah, it was good. The like I said, I was on the edge of my seat. I started crying when they went towards Sue just lying there dead. And especially when Pedro just like Reed just went straight for her, started trying to resuscitate her, but nothing was happening. And at those moments I was like, oh crap, she's dead. Like, she's not coming back. I had tears rolling. I was done. And then they brought Franklin through. Yeah, and especially considering the fact that they had Johnny was there, and Johnny's like, this is his sister, and then we had Ben. They all sort of came together, and they're waiting for something to happen while Reed's trying to bring her back to life, and nothing was happening, and they just it broke me. It really did, because this family all of a sudden was broken for a few moments, you know. So yeah, it was an interesting sort of way to end it, and then have her come back to life thanks to Franklin. And so now my thought process is, okay, so later down the track we're going to find out what kind of a power he has. And then considering the post-credit scene that we get, I'm just like, okay, so that's how they bring in the Fantastic Four into Doomsday. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, so the ending was cool, and the fact that they sort of, you know, happy days, they're going back to normal and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but those last few moments was very gut-wrenching, very intense, and I think they did it very well.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Big shout out. I want to make to Mole Man, for being the real MVP in this movie. No.
Oh, really?
No. He was great. First I just have to say, I love Paul Walter Hauser. He's a fantastic actor, and like, he can kind of play any kind of role, and like, he was great in this. And I like that he went from being a villain to having this connection with Sue Storm, to then helping them at the end, by putting everyone in his, you know, underground world of Subterranea and all of this. I thought he was a great addition to the film. So I just wanted to shout him out.
Mole Man.
Yep, mole man. Yes. So post credit scene, there are two of them. One is inconsequential because it's just the animated show, which was fun to watch. I will say, I liked the little sequence we got, but of course, the big one, which was our first glimpse of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. We don't see that it's RDJ. It probably isn't even him on set, to be honest. If we know how movies are made.
But it was directed by the Russo brothers.
Oh, the post-credit scene was directed by the Russos. Oh,
Yes.
Thank you, Mike. That's good tidbit. Good tidbit. Yeah, so we're 4 years after the events of First Steps, and here we are. And Franklin is, when he's not reading Charles Darwin's Origin of the Species, he's reading The Hungry Caterpillar. And then we see him touching an unmasked Victor Von Doom. And I saw one reviewer give a theory that's probably makes the most sense, that whatever Franklin's ability is that he has, he might be healing Victor's face, because if you know Doctor Doom, he has a disfigured face, and that's why he wears the mask. And because you've cast Robert Downey Jr. in this movie,
you can't have a disfigured face.
You're going to want to show Robert Downey Jr., right?
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea that Franklin is touching his face and he's healing him, because he doesn't know any better. But during the movie, there's references to Latveria, which is the country that Victor Von Doom is from. So I like those little hints at him throughout. So it's no surprise to see him in the post-credit scene. And then, the fact that it's Sue, the one that comes across it. But we don't know where it goes. We don't know what it means, apart from that one theory I just mentioned. But needless to say, the hype train is building again. So I'm still trying not to get too hyped, but I might be buying my hype train ticket soon. Who knows? Fulya, your final thoughts on this post-credit scene?
Yeah, look, I don't know what was going on. I was a little confused as to what to expect. So, it was just a quick little teaser. We get the mom and the child sitting together, reading their favorite book. And then she has to walk away to grab a different book. And apparently he really loves science books. Like very big, thick theory books on science and maths, and I'm like, yeah, that's Reed's son.
Yes.
But yeah, and then when Sue comes back into the living room, it's just like, there's another person in the room. What the hell? Yeah, that as soon as I saw the mask and the green cape, I was like, okay, there it is. That's how they're bringing in the family into Doomsday. So yeah, it was interesting. Like I didn't know what to really make of it. Really, I wasn't sure. I just my brain just instantly saw Doctor Doom. All right, this is a setup for Avengers Doomsday. That's it. That's all we're getting.
That's it.
That's all we're gonna get. So that's kind of where my brain was. But other than that, like the mid-credit scene as well. Do we remember the mid-credit scene?
Yeah, that's so the mid-credit scene was that, and then as I said before, the last scene we got was the animated show.
That's right. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where was it? I wasn't 100% sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was in the mid-credit scene. And then the post-credit scene was actually really cool that they decided to add in the animation, what was it? It's like their title to the animated series, like with the little jingle and stuff. And that was like actually really cool.
Opening credits sort of thing.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. I'm like, yay, I like that they brought that in for us. I wanted to learn more about that. But yeah, that was nice and fun to end the movie completely. But yeah, look, Doomsday, it's coming.
It sure is.
Yeah.
It sure is. Mike, take us out. What did you think of the post-credit scene?
Yeah, it's fine. It could be setting up Fantastic Four 2.
Maybe.
2 4. 2 4, 6. 2 plus 4 times 4. 8. Fantastic 8.
Fantastic 8.
Hateful 8 is a sequel. I like two different theories. Either it is RDJ or it's this version's Doctor Doom. Could be anyone. Could be a cameo. Don't know. Council of Reeds. Maybe there's a Council of Dooms. I don't know. I like it being open-ended and not necessarily definitive. So, I like the hungry caterpillar. He eats and eats and eats. It's kind of a good metaphor for this movie. But also the book that Sue gets is A Fly Went By, which is my favorite book as a kid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You know that one? A fly went by. It's being chased by a frog, which is being chased by a cat, dog. And the whole thing is a big misunderstanding. Yeah. The whole thing's a big misunderstanding. It was just a cow with its back leg stuck in a bucket. So it could mean that we're all being led to something that doesn't really mean anything. A big bucket head, which is Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom. Yes. All right. Well.
Yeah. You can't really add too much to that.
That's fine.
They changed the carpet in the back of the building.
They did. And one character we haven't mentioned yet that I was really glad to see he survived was Herbie. Because when Galactus's hand comes in the building to grab Franklin, Herbie's in there somewhere, and I'm like, where did he go? But he's fine. He's okay. I really liked him too. He was wonderful, and I want more Herbie. He was great. All right, let's end it there, shall we?
We shall.
Okay, that's Popcorn Culture. That's our review of Fantastic Four First Steps. Oh my goodness. That was really great. Thank you both for that. That was a lot of fun. Let's get on out of here, shall we? A 1, a 2, a 3. And that was a podcast called Fred. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky for all latest Fred content.
If you'd like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of future content. And if you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow on the way out. Twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
Nice. I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and Michael.
And I've been the invisible thing, Michael Lister. Invisible. And you just experienced a podcast called Fred.
Remember to eat beef.
Remember, Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and who could it be? Doctor Doom? No. I also did like the sort of little subtle hint of the comic book writers that are actually in the movie as well.
Yeah. I didn't
little
notice
hint
that.
to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee as well. That's good.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until I watched YouTube videos about it. But yeah, there's even a timely comics like thing on the wall and like comic book panels and stuff, and it's just it's really cool.
It's all interconnected.
Make sure to look after yourself and your mental health, everyone.
Yes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Ladies Gators.
And
stop stream.